Hello and welcome to the Pink Hair Girl podcast. My name is Sally Jane and it's really nice to have you back with me again. I have not waited this long, or as long this time, should I say. Um, Having said first of all, I want to ask, last time, or often when I edit, what I do is I take out all the or I try to, and the pauses and things. So I don't know if this makes it better or easier to listen to or watch or whatever, or if it feels more kind of bitty, if it feels kind of cut. I don't know. So I am going to try not to say this time, or less. Let's see how I go. And then, I don't know, hopefully have a little bit less post-editing. There we go. Because it takes quite a long time to take all of those out, and it means I spend quite a lot of time editing, and then that sometimes puts me off during the podcast. So if you want, I guess you know this by now, I was going to say, if you want like a really professional production, then maybe this isn't the podcast for you. If you kind of want more of a coffee or tea and a chat with a friend that says then maybe this is kind of more your style. I think there are lots of podcasts and lots of video blogs or vlogs or whatever, and people find what suits them. So let me know if the bother you. I'm not going to take them out this time. Or if it feels very choppy, or if it feels better, if it feels more professional and more sort of flowing or whatever, if the pauses and and slight delays or edits or things are just edited out. I don't know if it makes any great difference to the viewing, really. I don't know. So I am rather pleased to admit that I think my knitting mojo has mostly come back. I have done quite a lot of knitting, actually. Maybe it was the kind of Christmas knitting that has sort of lit a fire under me because I need to get done. Sorry, my screen goes dark every now and again. I just need to touch the thing to let it know I'm still here. Otherwise, it'll carry on recording, but then I can't see what it's doing. I don't really know how to change that setting. And last time I thought to myself, I must ask the geek, and I'm sure it's something really simple. It's like a sleep mode. You know, if it doesn't detect the typing or the keypad or whatever, then it thinks that it should go to sleep. So I'm sure there's a simple remedy for this. I need to blow my nose. So this bit I am going to edit. I'm sorry because I didn't bring any tissues. So let's just sort that problem out first. Okay, all sorted out. I have a slight winter cold. It's nothing bad. I don't feel bad. I just have a bit of kind of congestion in my face. I probably should just neti pot it or clear it out or something, but it seems to be getting better and I don't feel unwell, so yeah, we've all kind of just had winter sniffles and it's really not that bad. We have had a bit of snow. Now we have had significantly less snow than the majority of England, but we live quite far south, so we did have a dusting of snow on Sunday. I think that Saturday, Sunday was when most of the people got quite heavy snow and sort of woke up on Sunday morning covered in snow. We just had a very little bit that hardly settled on the ground on Sunday. Not enough to kind of do anything with. We really probably didn't get enough snow to do anything with in total, but still my children tried. On Monday we had a little bit more, and there was enough to sort of lie on the ground a little bit. And so my kids made a snowman. You know, a very dirty snowman. Because it was really a very, very light layer on the grass. But they did roll it all up, round and round, collecting sort of grass and mud and snow as they went along, and they made Frosty, the snowman, and they were very proud of that. They did try snowballs, but because it was very wet, very thin layer, by the time they made them into balls, they were very hard. And we had a couple of snowball injuries. Titus kind of got one on the side of his face, this massive big red mark on his face with lots of crying. I do realize that we are not really equipped for snow and going out to play in the snow, but I'm sort of loath to buy a whole lot of snow gear when we don't really get very much snow. Sorry, that's a train going past. And last time I paused because I thought maybe you could hear them, and then I cut it out, but I don't know if you can hear it. If you can, I'm not going to do anything about it. It's a train. I live next to a railway line. Not a busy one, so it really becomes so much in the background you hardly notice it. So yeah, I'm kind of loath to buy a whole bunch of snow gear. What we do need is a few more gloves and mittens. I have made Rachel quite a few fingerless mittens, but the child has what I think is very similar to what my sister has, Raynaud's, which is where you have very poor circulation to your extremities, your feet and your hands. And often people will say to, oh my gosh, your hands are, they first go bright red, and then they go kind of like, if you touch them when they're red, they sort of blanch, that sort of white color, and then they go a kind of a blue, a kind of a rather kind of disturbing blue color. So she feels the cold very quickly on her hands especially, and then she can't move her fingers, so she couldn't actually stay out very long. So I'm thinking of getting her, or making her, for not obviously in the snow you're going to need some sort of thing waterproof, but I'm thinking of when she goes out or when it's really cold or whatever, of making some thrummed mittens. Now, for those of you that don't know what thrummed mittens are, they are where you knit mittens and then you put a piece of unspun roving. You kind of take a tube like this and then you twist it in the middle, and then that little bit you knit into the stitch and then have the fluffy two sides poking into the mittens. I'll try to find a picture if I can. I don't know if I'm allowed to insert other people's pictures into my video as an explanation. I don't know. You might just have to go and look up thrummed mittens on Ravelry. For those of you that do know or have made any, won't you let me know if they're worth it, if they make a difference, if they really are warm enough, or if I need to probably go and get, I don't know, something from Snow and Rock or something. I will need to probably get her waterproof ones anyway, but I was thinking of the thrummed ones might just help a little bit when she's out and about. She could just put them on if she's walking or if she's at Scouts in the evening. I think what you do then is put a thin pair of gloves almost on and then put the mittens on over that or something. I don't know. My sister was saying when she goes skiing, the one that gets the Raynaud's as well, that she puts a little heated hand pack or something inside her mittens actually. Anyway, don't know. If you've made thrummed mittens, first of all, were they worth it, and how difficult are they? Are they a real pain in the neck? She's got some roving obviously that I can use, so debating that. Anyway, so on to the other things that I have knitted so far. As I said, I kind of got my knitting mojo back a little bit. I have been doing an advent swap, and I made a whole bunch of things and then didn't take any photos of them. So I made a stranded mug warmer, and I had some little coasters, crocheted coasters, white ones that almost look like little snowflakes, that my friend Shaldine made for me. So I put the mug with the coasters. I got a mug as well and put the cozy on with the coasters as one of the gifts. So I did. I made a toilet paper roll Christmas tree, and then each of those was stuffed with a yarn and a tea or chocolate tea in some, bags of tea, hot chocolate in some, and like little latte, coffee packets in some. So that was the tree part for the 25 days. And then I made gifts for, I think it was day 1, 5, 15, something. I don't know. I had 5 extra gifts, and then there's one on the final day. So I know she's opened a few. The first day was some Christmas tree ornaments. I sent her not exactly the same as this, but some similar beaded South African ones that still have the Christmas tree hook on, and you can make them. I made mine into earrings. And the boys made some little hammer bead tree ornaments that they had wanted to send along. So I'd put those in for day one, because obviously the closer to the beginning when you put up your tree, I'm not sure exactly when she put up her tree, but at least that would be in there. And then, as I said, the mug, I know that she's opened the mug and the mug cozies and that sort of thing. And I can't remember exactly which days the others go on. And so I won't say some of the other things yet. And I made something for the 25th, for the final day. I made something for that as well. So I really can't show you any of those because I didn't take any photos of them. I did a tiny little sweater. You know, one of those tiny little sweaters, and the geek made me a little coat hanger. And I made it up out of sort of Christmassy coloured yarn. And so it's also a little Christmas tree ornament, which we made. Then, so I did that. And then I received my parcel. And I have put the pictures on Instagram. She made me little sewn Christmas socks. And then, which must take ages to cut out all these 24 Christmas socks and sew them together. And then they're on little pegs on like a little ribbon. And so I've got that hanging up. So I open a chocolate and a mini skein each day. So here's some of I get a little mini skein and a chocolate each day. And I have been fairly good. I haven't done one every day, I must admit. I kind of was trying, and then I was realizing that I really need to buck up with some of the Christmas knitting. And perhaps I could do some of I did a lot of ends. How far did I show you last time? I think I showed you that I had loads of ends. Would you please witness the lot less ends? Just this corner over here, I think, still needs to have a whole lot of ends woven in. But the rest, I have done a lot more end sewing in. So these are the ones I've done so far. So what is today's date? 14th of December. I should have 14, shouldn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have not totally kept up with one a day. Oh, silly phone. I touched the side of my phone, so it thinks I wanted to look up something. So these are the ones I've done so far, and I've got some more to do, and I will carry on doing those. But I mean, as usual, I'm not sewing in the ends as I go along, which really probably would be more helpful if I just sewed them in. But it wasn't actually so bad to sew them all in one evening. I just sat there and sewed in a whole bunch. So here's my whole mug full of ends that I sewed in. And here's my simply, what does it say? I'm simply magical. And that's my ends. But yes, I haven't sewn in anymore. So that's about how big the blanket is. I mean, you saw it last time. And, you know, 1/2 a row is not going to make that much difference. I don't know if I had finished the row before that I was on. Anyway, I finished that whole row and obviously started this one now. So yeah, I've been doing that. And what's really nice about it is that you can sit with it on your lap while you watch TV and kind of do it. So it keeps you, double purpose. It keeps you warm while you're going. Right, so I've been doing that, and that's been really fun. The Advent swap has been really fun. So I've been enjoying that, getting my little chocolate and yarn every day. Then I have been knitting some gifts. Now, hoping we don't have too many ears around, my older 2 children are going to their dad for Christmas this year. I don't know if I said that last time. So this will be quite different for us. Poor Titus will be without both of his siblings for Christmas. But what we're going to do is they leave next week Saturday. On Friday, we're going to do like a family Christmas dinner with just the 5 of us. And then they're going to open their presents from us before they go. So they don't have to lug a whole bunch of presents up there. But I wanted them to have something to open on Christmas Day from me, since I'm not going to be with them. I just wanted a little handmade gift for each of them from me. So then it's something really small. They can take it in their luggage, and yeah. So for Caleb, so none of the ends are woven in. For Caleb, I have made socks. So these are double knit socks. They're actually quite thick. I'm hoping they're not too thick. They are a bit thick. I need to wash them and block them out a little bit because they're a bit crunchy at the moment. So I was worried I was going to run out of yarn. I think I actually might have held double. I might not have quite predicted how much it needed. So all I did on the bottom or the leg was to make it stripy. And I thought once it's in a foot, you're never going to know that the leg is different. I don't think they're the most beautiful socks on the planet, to be honest. But they are warm, and he's going up north to Derbyshire, and apparently there's more snow and it's very cold up there. So socks, lots of ends to be sewn in, but those. And then, what did I just do with? Oh, here we are. I was going to say, what did I do with her one? For Rachel, I made a sock head. I think she might be done. So this, I think, was actually some yarn that Claire gave me, Claire Divine. I think it was in a sort of a D-stash that she did. The colour's not showing up all that well. It's actually, the oranges are quite bright. So yeah, I also need to sew in some ends. So that she really enjoys wearing her. She's got a socket hat that she wears at the moment. My Wombles yarn one. And so I made her another one. I'm going to take with her. I don't think I'll have the thrummed mittens finished on time, although they probably will be very useful up there. That's what I've got. So these just need ends sewn in. But those are done, at least. Those were the most pressing because they need to leave on the 22nd, so that needs to go with them. So those are done. Right, then I am making a hedgehog for my niece, which is also all knitted. Where's the pattern? Here we go. So it is the King Cole tinsel hedgehog pattern. And my kids have a whole bunch of them that Krimpvarki Elaine in South Africa made for them. I think I've only got one over here at the moment. We have a red and a blue and a pink and a grey one, I think, is all the ones that we have. So, and my niece absolutely loves playing with these. Rachel has a pet hedgehog, as you know. And so then when she comes to play, she'll look at Willow, and then they go play hedgehogs with these hedgehogs. So she has wanted a hedgehog. So I've made her one. I made one for a friend of mine's little girl as well. And I didn't know which size this one was. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just make the large. How big can it be? It's massive. It's like a rugby ball almost. I think there's a picture on my Instagram with my hand next to it. And my hand like this, and then this massive hedgehog. So I thought, well, this time I'll only make the medium. It's still fairly large. I haven't done the stuffing. So there's the little face. As you can see, they get a little plain colour face. So there's the little face. And hers is a kind of a purpley, bluey, purpley colour. And then I need to sew that up and make it into a hedgehog. But I think that's still quite a lot bigger than this one. I mean, these are probably the small. Anyway, I hope that she will like that it's a fairly big. So there's those. And then I've knitted all the pieces. As I said, I've done all the feet. You have to just sew around these edges there to make the little feet like that. So I need to make the feet, and then I've done the little ears as well that just need to be stitched on. You know, they go on the top like that. But I need stuffing. So basically I need to get some sort of stuffing for this, and then I can finish that. But the hedgehog is finished and the stuffing won't take that long. So at least I know that that for Christmas Day is also finished for my little niece. And she sent me the cutest little video on WhatsApp of her wearing her bunny, her little nut brown hair, her little nut brown hair hat. And it is I don't know if there's a still picture, if it's just in a video. Her wearing it, and then she sent me a video saying, please Auntie Sally, will you knit me another hat, because it was getting too small. don't know if you can see her there. I won't play you the whole video, but there you can see she's wearing her little hat, and it's apparently getting a little bit small. So she asked if she could have another one. She's just so cute. So she wants another little nut brown hair hat. So I need to make her that, but I don't. Her birthday's in March, and I think it'll probably be too hot for a hat by then. But I don't know. Maybe just post Christmas or something. I'll make her a little nut brown hair hat. But I have done the hedgehog at least, so that's good. Right. So before you feel too sorry for us being all on our lonesome for Christmas, well, no. Because South Africa is very hot, we have a kind of a Christmas tradition of eating our big Christmas meal on the... I really must get the geek to change this thing where it goes off all the time. We have a tradition of eating the Christmas meal on the 24th, on the evening, because it is normally cooler in the evening. Then we would have our big meal. Then the children go outside. Between eating and dessert, the children go outside and they go and make a landing strip for Father Christmas, like sometimes they used logs the one year, and then they used lights, and they make an arrow and they say land here or whatever. So they make this like runway for Santa's sleigh, and some carrots and all sorts of things for the reindeer. And while they are outside doing that, then the Christmas fairy brings their Christmas pajamas so that they look nice in the photos the next morning. So they get Christmas pajamas from the Christmas fairy, and normally a little treat or something in that. So then they put the stuff out. We have dessert, and then they put the stuff out for Father Christmas, the mince pies and beer. Apparently our Father Christmas likes beer. And that's kind of what we do. So, and then I'm going to my sister on Christmas Day. They do their kind of big meal on Christmas Day. So my friend Sharon is here with her son, and they weren't doing anything on the 24th or for Christmas or whatever. So they're going to come to us. So I said to Titus, was he very upset that his brother and sister were not going to be there? And he is, but he said Joshua will be there, so that is okay. Joshua is a little bit older than Rachel and is a Nerf gun enthusiast and expert. So Titus is very excited about this, that Joshua will know all about Nerf guns. And then the little, basically it will be us and them. And that's what we'll do on the 24th. But on the 22nd, before they go, we'll kind of have a family meal then as well. So it's not so bad. And hopefully they have a nice time. I hope. I think so. I think they'll have a nice time. So that's what I've knitted for them to take with them. So they've got a little something from me. Right, what else? I am going to I can't actually find it right now. I think it might actually be in the other room with some of my other projects that I'd taken with me. I was knitting the Stepping Stones hat out of that light brown sort of baobab color yarn for my friend, but I'm only seeing them after Christmas, quite shortly after Christmas, but I still need to finish the things that have a Christmas deadline before that. So yes, that has to wait a little bit. I haven't, and also my sister's hat, I've knitted a little bit on that, but not so much because I'm actually only seeing my sister in March or April, somewhere there. So I don't need to be finished this as quickly. So this is the turquoise wisdom pattern. And I'm actually going, this is my sister that gets very cold. I'm actually going to fleece line the inside for her. And then she wanted a cowl, like a cowl, but more like a sort of a buff, you know, a longer but narrower one that you can sort of pull up over your nose. And I'm going to fleece line that as well. I might do a similar pattern for that. This is just some undyed yarn. And then I held it double with a strand of lace, silvery sort of very lightly dyed sort of a silvery grey colour, and it's got a sparkle to it. So that's what I've done for this one. So I've knitted a very little bit on that, but that really doesn't have a deadline now, so I'm kind of putting that one aside. The other Christmas knitting I'm doing is for Sharon's son that's coming to us. I am making him some socks, which I'm knitting at the moment, and this is Regia, the 6-ply, so hopefully this will go a little bit quicker. Well, it is actually going quite fast. And I am knitting these on 325 needles. Let me just finish this little bit here and then I'll show you. I'm doing toe up, fish lips kiss heel, very standard for me, and a kind of a broken or garter rib pattern along the socks. Now the garter rib makes it seem a little bit tighter, but I have measured it and it does have a lot of give in it. You know, when you put them on, the garter rib actually stretches quite a lot. So that's the pattern. Obviously I haven't done a pattern on the foot, but just post the heel I've started doing the pattern up the leg now as well. Hopefully these will fit him. I'm kind of been messaging Sharon and kind of comparing notes on how big his feet are. She's also actually knitting some 6-ply socks, so I've been able to say how many stitches did you cast on. I actually knit a bit tighter, so I needed to put a few more stitches into my, excuse me, I will edit nose blowing. Yes, so I am on the first sock on the leg, so that shouldn't be too bad. I should be able to finish that. And then yesterday I'm going to another friend of mine on Sunday to see them before Christmas, and I made her a hat yesterday. Oops. And this is the Rubies in My Pocket pattern. And I've made this out of Rowan big wool in this sort of, it's a very light, it's not a baby blue kind of, I know on screen it's showing quite baby, but it's almost got a tiny bit of green in it. It's almost like an aqua sort of blue green color. And I made a pom-pom, but I made a detachable pom-pom. So what you do is, I don't know if any of you have done this before, it's quite simple. So what you do, let me show you this. When you tie your pom-pom, I've done a double knot here actually. When you tie the pom-pom through the middle, right, tie it with a fairly long piece. I used one of these pom-pom maker jobs. And then when I tied it, you know, when you tie up through the middle, I used some sock weight yarns. It was a little bit thinner to catch it all tightly. And then what you do, oh sorry, let me just undo this little bow here, is you get a button. So if the person didn't want to wear it with the pom-pom for that time, you get a button. Right. So when you thread the yarn coming from the pom-pom, so this is the bit coming from the pom-pom. As you can see, that's the color, you know, the yarn that's tying the pom-pom through the middle. So you put that through the middle of the hat like that, and then you put it through a button. Put those two ends through a button like that, and then simply tie this onto the button in the middle, with the bow. I double do my bow, not too tight, but I just double do it so the pom-pom doesn't fall off. But as you can see, you can take it off or put it on as you like. So there's the bow inside there with pom-pom, and it is completely detachable, which I thought was genius. So I wasn't sure if she wanted a pom-pom or if she always wanted a pom-pom or whatever the case was. So that is my, from the big hats collection that I have just done, which has proved very valuable for making quick hats for presents. I made her a hat, so I can take that with me on Sunday. So I finished that. As I say, I'm doing these socks. And then I have wound the yarn for the geek socks, but I haven't started them yet. I'm going to use two different yarns. I'm going to make the heels, toes and cuff out of this, which is hazelnuts, 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon, and in the blueberry colorway. And this was a gift, and I am almost sure it was from Debbie. It was last year. No, could have even been the year before, when we were collecting hats. If you sent me this and I am being woefully lacking in who I'm thanking, please remind me. This one was also a gift that came with the hats that we collected for the Red Cross. And this is biscotti and, is it she or she? She? And this is in the Felix colorway. And this I'm almost sure, this one I'm almost sure is from Suzanne. But if I've got that wrong, please let me know. So yes, these were both gifts. I really should write down who they're from when I get them. And I have wound them into center pull balls on my Nostepin, which is did I show you before? It's a stick that is tapered towards the top. So when you roll, so it's easy to pull the ball off. Up towards the top, you can always pull it off, and it's very, very smooth. And then you kind of wind round and round and round. It does take a lot longer, but I find that it winds a neater ball than my ball winder is doing at the moment. My ball winder is slipping. And so the yarn's getting all tangled up, and when you knit, it just makes a fiasco. So I'm actually hand winding, and it was quite fun. It takes a fair amount of time. I sat the one evening and just did it while watching TV, so it's fine. And you wind the bit that you're gonna your center bit, that you're not going to use, around there, and hold it in your hand out the way, and then you wrap the rest of it around. If anyone wants a demonstration, there are lots on YouTube, but if you do want one, I'm happy to show you at the end of a video, maybe one day. So yeah, I wound those, and that's for the geek for his Christmas knitting. And then I have another friend that wanted a hat, and I'm trying to help the children finish the things that they are making. Rachel is making two friends hats, which Rachel's mother has done a lot of knitting on the gifts for the friends. I think there was one that was, yeah. This one is the fish, the dead fish hat. So this one is, I think it was a knitty pattern. I did the short rows for her because there's short rows on the front and the back. So this is the mouth, and then it kind of goes like that. And she's been doing this bit, or not, as the case may be. And then she's making a sock head hat as well. I did all the ribbing for her on her sock head hat and have given her the rest to do, but it's not getting done as fast as it probably should be. And then Caleb is knitting a dog sweater, which he would like to donate to a shelter, dog shelter, and they want to collect some food for dog shelter as part of their Christmas list, because they have to decide. They can't just write a list of things that they want. They have to write a list of things like something to wear, something to read, something I want, something I need, and then something to feed and something to share. And so they are, and something they want to do, like an activity they want to do. So Caleb is making a dog sweater for dog and shelter. So I'm busy helping him with that as well. Also needs a bit of encouragement and I'm helping with the increases down the front and all the rest. So hopefully that will get done as well. And that, I think, is most of my Christmas knitting, really. The only other thing I need to show you that I did actually fix, and I need an enormous round of applause. I got one of my stalled socks back on track. I got my what is it called? Speckled. Oh goodness. Speckled something. Anyway, it's for speckled yarn space. Oh my god, speckled space socks, something like that. Anyway, so this is the one that's got these little V bits running up here, and it was just for what it was just one of the bits around the leg that I needed to kind of just anyway. I figured it all out. It wasn't actually very difficult. Just needed time, and I wasn't being interrupted to think about that. So I'm past the heel, and up the leg. So that shouldn't take me too much longer. But as I said, this will be done again after Christmas. I'm kind of on pause now. And this was the sock blank that Wool Diaries gave me for my birthday. From, sorry, you probably didn't see that, Yorkshire Dales Yarn by Homespun Wonder. So that was that. And those I won't go back to those until after I finished all the sort of manic Christmas knitting. I think I'll probably do kind of a Christmas Eve or just after Christmas cast on something for myself, maybe some socks or something. Because I need to finish all the rest of this. So I've got my friend's hat for just after Christmas. I've got another hat for a friend I need to do. I need to finish these 6-ply socks. I need to finish the geek socks. I don't think that's too bad. I think I kind of got through a lot. So I finished socks, hat, hedgehog, another hat. Not too bad. What are you knitting for Christmas? Do you have a long list? I swore I wasn't doing Christmas knitting this year. But then the quicker hats are actually really easy to do and they make nice gifts. So I've enjoyed doing those. And my little nieces wanted a hedgehog for so long. And I did want to give the other 2 handmade gifts to take along with them. Of course, now I feel bad because I don't have a handmade gift for Titus, who's staying here. So hopefully when I'm finished these, I'm hoping that there actually might be enough yarn left that I make Titus a small pair of socks as well. So that's sort of the plan. And that's about all, really. I think that's all I've been doing. I think that's a fair amount of knitting. What else did I finish since last time I spoke to you? I think I mostly just got the box ready to post for my yarn swap. Oh, the only sewing I've done is an advent calendar for Rachel. I lost Rachel's advent calendar. I somehow have no idea how. They each had one on a piece of calico and little felt socks cut out, little stockings, and they were all stuck on, and then you put the little gifts in them. And somehow, and then decorated with glitter pens and numbers and little stickers and all sorts of things. And somehow, I have no idea where, it went missing a couple of years ago. And I was convinced it was somewhere in the house. So when we moved, I was convinced that somewhere in the back of a cupboard, we would find this advent calendar. Because, I mean, how do you lose an advent calendar? Nothing. So she's been using a temporary one the last few years, but it's not quite as nice. So I actually ordered some fabric where you get a panel with a backing, a border around it, and then on the other side you get almost exactly the same thing, but it doesn't have a border around it. It's just the little squares, numbered squares, and they're identical to the ones on the main calendar. It's on my Instagram. If I feel inspired, I'll put some pictures in, but otherwise really you should follow me on Instagram because these things are all there. I decided the last minute I really must get this child something, and I think I ordered it 2 or 3 days before the end of the month. Of course, it arrived on Thursday morning. Advent needing to start the next day, obviously. So I frantically cut out and sewed all of the little pockets. But I haven't backed it and I haven't quilted it yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to quilt it. I might just put a backing fabric and edge it and put it on a sort of a ribbon thread on the top and then put a kind of a pole dowel through it and then something to hang it on. So it's not hanging at the moment. And now, of course, the boys think that her one is much nicer than theirs. So they also all want one. So I might do some more for next year. We'll see. Yeah, so I did sew that all in the one day, finishing it at about 11:30 at night. But I finished her advent calendar, so that was quite good. I haven't actually done any other sewing recently. We've been doing a bit of crafting. I've done some biscuits for the Scout Christmas market that they had, which we iced and decorated. And I want to make some biscuits. Titus's thing to share or to feed or whatever was that he wants to make Christmas biscuits in an apartment. We're on the top and there are some flats below us, so Titus would like to make some biscuits for all the people in the flats below us. So that's what we're going to be doing probably a bit later today. I'm going to be finishing that. So we'll leave it at that for today. I don't know if I will get to podcast before Christmas or if you'll only see me again afterwards, but if you are celebrating, have an absolutely wonderful Christmas. Please share your Christmas knitting on Instagram, on the group where I put this. Tell me what you're up to, if you're having ambitious plans, if you're going to be finished on time, if you're going to be knitting frantically into the night and the last minute. I know I've left the geek socks for last, but that is because I know that I could still give him them wrapped up on the needles and he'd be as appreciative as if I had them all finished, whereas everybody else kind of needs to either take theirs with them or I need to give them wrapped up to people, so I couldn't really give it still on the needles, whereas I know that he wouldn't mind and he'd be more forgiving of my slightly unfinished gift. So yeah, have a wonderful week. Enjoy your Christmas preparations. Our Christmas trees and things are up. Our decorations are out. I know this side doesn't look particularly exciting, but the rest of the room has the Christmas Lego they're building and all sorts of little things and stuff around. So we don't have a very big collection of Christmas stuff anymore because obviously we just brought a very few kind of special ornaments and some of the Christmas Lego with us. But we will again build up over time as it goes again. So have a wonderful holidays and I will see you again or when I podcast very soon. Otherwise, keep up with what we're doing on Instagram, because that's probably where I post most of the in-between things that we're doing. So bye.